Welcome in, everybody, to the first ever podcast here at the OABGC. This is your main host, Andrew. I hope everybody's having a great day. I also have some very special guests on the show with us today, so go ahead and introduce yourself. It is a couple of our staff here and a couple of our members, so let's go ahead and get this thing rolling.
Hello, my name is Jack. I'm a staff here at the OABGC and an OG Point League player.
OG? All right.
Hey there, I'm Bella. I'm like the best co-host ever, and I'm a staff here, but I also come here as a member, and I think it's pretty cool.
Bella is a goated co-host right now.
Yes, sir.
Very good job.
Yes, sir.
And then finally, who else we got here?
Hello, I'm Elijah. I've been here since I can't even remember when, and I'm obviously a better co-host than Isabella.
He honestly could be the OG. He's one of junior this year, right?
Absolutely.
Junior, nice to hear it. So obviously this is our first ever podcast, so I figured no better way than to get our viewers an introduction of what we're going to be doing here. So a lot of our viewers are most likely going to be parents or a couple of our members listening to some interesting stuff around the club. So some of the things that you're going to see on this podcast are going to include different sections and different types of podcasts. So Jack's going to talk about our first one. So it is going to be our sports section of the podcast. So Jack, what can our members expect to hear about when talking about the sports section?
So you can really hear about Point League, which we have basketball, and
Pillow polo.
pillow polo.
Can you give the viewers an idea of what Point League is if they've never heard of it?
So Point League, we lower our rims to where most people can dunk. And there's drafts. You can get drafted, traded. We have a championship too.
So it's pretty much like a NBA version league for our members here. We keep stats, we keep records. There's trades, as Jack knows, as he's the record holder for most trades in a single season and a career. And we also record the live streams of the games. We do top 10 plays of the week and all kinds of stuff like that. So Point League coverage is definitely going to have its own segment here, as it's one of our most popular programs here at the club. What else you got on there, Jack?
We will be talking about sports debate. So we will be going against hot takes for sports.
Give me a hot take right now. Give me like an example of a hot take.
Dallas is going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, do you guys agree with that?
Absolutely not.
Who's going to
No.
win? Who's going to win? Jack, I know you see it on that paper.
I want the Dolphins to win.
Tell the people who live in Ohio who they really want to be hearing about.
The Browns.
The Browns. So we are going to have our own Cleveland Browns talk show. Isabella is making a nasty face because she's a front runner.
Dolphins
favorites
are
of the
better.
Dolphins.
Yes, sir.
She really likes the Dolphins, but we
She's not the only
will
one.
have our own crew that is going to be doing coverage of the Browns weekly. They'll come out with debates who they think should start. Jack doesn't like the Browns, but they'll be doing all kinds of coverages on the Cleveland Browns. So that's what you guys can expect to see on the sports debate. We also do have another segment that another team is going to take control of. So Isabella, go ahead and give us some insight on that. And Eli is also going to tune in on this as well.
All right, so our next segment is interviews. We'll be doing these with staff, community members, club alumni, for example, Mama Gail.
Gail?
Yep, she'll be our very first one. We're very excited to partake in these podcasts and just, in general, have a conversation with everybody, get to know them, and for you guys as well.
So I think Eli is actually going to be working on the Mama Gail podcast. So it is going to pretty much be the story of Mama Gail. So Eli, tell us a little bit about that. What can we expect, and are you excited about this project?
I am absolutely excited for it. So basically what we're going to hear about is kind of just the backstory of how Mama Gail started working at the club, what all she's done for the community in general.
Awesome. Now, is this something that you guys can expect, or that our viewers and listeners can expect to hear a lot of? I know that you said that we'd like to get some club alumni, so maybe some people that possibly went to the club as a kid and kind of see where they're at in life now. Is this something that you guys are excited about? And do you have possibly some people
Yeah.
that you'd like
Yeah.
to see on the show?
I mean, this is a far out chance, but Shaq was a club kid.
Shaq was a club kid.
Eventually, if we could get there, I mean, that guy's amazing.
He is amazing.
I mean, I would also. I mean, this is also a little far fetched, but we could possibly have the mayor.
Oh, was he a club kid?
I believe so. I think we had a trip with him back in the day.
So maybe we could get some people like that. If you're listening and you are a club alumni and you would like to tell us your story, please reach out. Our podcast can be found on Spotify and on YouTube. YouTube is the best way to connect with us, as you can comment and kind of let us know what you guys would like to see in the future. What other types of things do you think our members could give to this podcast experiment? What other topics would you guys personally like to do, since you guys are members as well? If you could create your own type of podcast, what would it be? Go ahead, Jack.
So, I would like to see a feedback section where we can give recommendations on what we'd want or need at the club.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of like a club 101, we kind of hear from the members like what's going well, what we could do better, type of stuff. I also I feel like a lot of parents when they pick up their kids and stuff, they hear about the things that their kids are doing at the club, but I think it would be cool for the community to actually hear
like an overview of all the events.
All the events, the programs,
like,
all that kind of stuff.
Kind of like the news of the club.
Yes, so we could do like a news show, like kind of do all that stuff, telling them what we're doing, what things we plan to do.
An announcement podcast would be
Announcements.
pretty
I think that would be cool, like a morning announcements. So those are some really great ideas. But that's going to do it for our first interview. Our first introduction of the Club Talk. I think it was very successful for our first one. And this is something that we hope to do about 2 to 3 times a week. Hopefully we can get some of those podcasts rolling out. Like I said, there's going to be different teams. We got our sports debates, our interviews, and just our Club 101 kind of conversations. Eli, any closing remarks?
Absolutely. So if you are listening to our podcast and you have any kind of feedback at all, just
let us know.
Yeah,
let
absolutely.
us know.
Let us
We'd
know.
love to hear it. And Jack, you said you had something else before we head out?
One last thing is I also want to really interview Kelly.
Kelly.
I know Kelly's got a lot of history.
Kelly
even
does
the
have
club.
Kelly does have a lot of history. I think it would be cool to do an interview with Kelly, and something actually to look forward to. Along with these podcasts, we are going to be starting our own film production crew.
Oh, yeah.
And one of our big visions, I would love to do a documentary film of somebody at the club. So imagine doing a Mama Gail documentary, and we could have a kid play Mama Gail, or kids play people that came in her life. I think that would be pretty awesome. So stay tuned for that. But as always, this is your host, Andrew. Appreciate all my co-hosts coming on the show today, and we'll catch everybody next time. Have a good one.